everybody, welcome to this busy episode of Heroes Gate Elementary. I'm Patrick, and I will be your co-host along with Ruth, who should be here any moment now. Sometimes it seems like life can feel awfully busy, right? I mean, it could be things like homework, stuff around the house that you got to do, helping family and friends. You got soccer practice, piano lessons. I mean, you name it. We find ways to keep ourselves really, really busy sometimes. Oh, hey, Ruth. Whoa. Ruth. Hey. Wow, she really seems busy. I mean, what? She has a lot to do on that list. This could take a little while, so maybe while we're waiting for her to finish up, I'm going to go get some other things ready for the next part of our lesson. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Are you ready to begin?
Oh my! Have you been there long?
Yeah, we've been watching how frantically you've been trying to do all that stuff on your list. I mean, that is a lot to do.
Yes, I was working really hard, but in the process I forgot something very important, and that is that I was going to be here with you and our friends. I'm sorry I'm late.
Well, that can happen sometimes. We were talking about that just a bit ago, about how life can get really busy and overbooked, and we can just get really frantic in the midst of that. And you know, I've got an idea that I think would help you and our friends out there. There is something very important to do in the midst of any moment, whether it's a slow moment or really, even more importantly, in those busy moments. And that is just to spend a little bit of time with God and let Him fill you up with His peace.
Stories of what they think you like, but I've heard the tender whisper of love in the dead of night, and you tell me that you're pleased and that I'm never alone. You're a good, good father. It's who you are. It's who you are. It's who you are. And I'm loved by you. It's who I am.
I'm glad we took the time to slow down and get filled with God's peace and love. I'm sure everybody realizes that it's not wrong to be busy once in a while, but if busyness causes us to not be able to focus on God and help and love others well, that's not good.
That's right. In our story that we're going to hear today, someone learned that same lesson from Jesus.
Really? Cool. Can I help tell the story?
That would be great. And, I've got just the role for you. You're going to play a young woman named Mary. If we look at God's big amazing story, the Bible, we are looking at a point where Jesus has been traveling around Israel and Judea teaching about who God is and this awesome gift that God has of his love for everybody who wants it. And in the process, Jesus has been healing those who are hurting and sick, and he's gotten to know a lot of people. Some, even beyond the disciples, have decided to follow him as well. And in the process, he's gotten to know people well enough to become close friends. Among those who he called his friends were 3 siblings. The first was Lazarus.
Hi, I'm Lazarus.
And second was Martha.
Hi, I'm Martha.
And finally there is Mary.
Hi, I'm Mary.
Lazarus, Mary, and Martha lived in a small village called Bethany, which was just a little east of the capital city of Jerusalem. Now, they had not only become followers of Jesus, but they had also become his friends. So when they heard that he was in their village, they were super happy to invite him to stay over.
Martha, have you heard the good news? Jesus is in town.
That's wonderful. It will be so good to see him again.
Let's invite him to stay at our house.
I don't know. There's just so much to prepare and groceries to be bought and cleaning. I don't know if it's a good idea.
Don't worry about all of that. Jesus is going to spend time with us, and that's going to be awesome.
Oh dear, there's so many lists to make. I mean, there's the grocery list, the menu. I wonder if the disciples are going to join us too.
Hey, what did I miss?
Well, Mary says Jesus is in town, and she wanted to invite him to stay with us, but we're not prepared for guests, especially someone as important as Jesus.
That is an amazing idea. I'm going to go find him and invite him right now. See you later. It'll all be fine. Hey teacher, it is so good to see you again.
I'm happy to be back and to see you also. How are your sisters doing?
Well, why don't you ask them when you come? And stay at our house while you're in town.
I'd love that, to visit with all of you.
Of course, having Jesus stay at your house is a huge honor, so Martha wanted to make sure everything was perfect. So while Jesus sat and taught the disciples, Martha got to work. She cleaned until everything sparkled, and she cooked and baked like she was going to run out of ingredients. And then she served Jesus and his disciples food throughout the day, and she was so proud of all that she had accomplished, yet she felt like she wanted and needed to do more. And so she continued to cook and bake and clean.
Whew, I'm exhausted, but there's still so much to do. I must say though, I've done a great job so far with very little time to prepare. Shoot, I'm running low on supplies. I wish I had known all of Jesus's disciples were coming for every meal.
Meanwhile, Mary was drawn to Jesus. She wanted nothing other than to sit and to listen to his teachings and learn from him. Now, she wanted to spend every moment of his visit being right there with him. And in the process, she really didn't notice anything else that was going on, including what was happening with Martha.
I just love listening to Jesus and spending time with him. He teaches with such wisdom and authority and compassion, and he treats women the same as men. He teaches both of them. I could spend all day listening to Jesus. Let me look at it has been all day. Oh my goodness. I thought I'd only been here for like a few minutes.
Just look at Mary sitting at Jesus's feet. It's so frustrating and I'm furious. Here I am cooking and cleaning and working so hard so that everything's perfect for Jesus. And there's Mary sitting on the floor just listening to Jesus. My sister has not lifted a finger to help me all day. Women are expected to do most of the work in the house and should not be disciples and students. I mean, just look at Mary. She's ignoring the work that I'm doing and sitting like a student. I am getting more and more angry the more I see her just sitting there.
She may have even tried to hint to Mary that some help in the kitchen would be nice, but it seemed like nothing she did would get Mary to move away from Jesus' side. And so Martha began to get more and more upset until she finally had enough, and she marched right into that room and she turned to Jesus and said,
Lord, don't you care that my sister has left me to do the work all by myself? Tell her to help me.
She was sure Jesus was on her side and that he would turn to Mary and say, Mary, what are you doing? You shouldn't be sitting here learning. You should be in the kitchen helping Martha. She's doing a great job of making sure me and my students are well fed and comfortable. But that's not what he said. In fact, his answer shocked her, and it probably shocked all the other people in the room as well.
Martha, Martha, you are worried and upset about many things, but few things are needed, or indeed only one. Mary has chosen what is better, and it will not be taken away from her.
What? Okay.
Now I could just picture Martha standing there staring at Jesus, hardly knowing what to say. I mean, she really thought that Jesus was going to be upset with Mary. Instead, Jesus turns to her and tells her how all that worry and all that work that she just went through to impress him and do all this stuff to make herself look good wasn't that important. It wasn't necessary. Instead, Mary knew what was really important. Mary wanted to spend time with Jesus. She wasn't upset. She wasn't worried. She was just content to be with Jesus, to be in his presence, and to learn from him.
Martha, I'm not mad at you. I truly appreciate all you've done and how you wanted to show your love through your actions. But it seems you've gotten your priorities a bit mixed up by caring more about making people happy than learning to follow me. I love you and Mary both and want to make sure you know how important it is to spend time with me.
I'm so sorry. I realize now that being with you is more important than doing all those things for you. I just wanted everything to be perfect, and I'm so thankful that you see me and women differently than the culture does. It's just something new for me, and I so appreciate that you want to spend time with me.
And she did learn from this experience based on what we see of her story in the Bible. She continued to be a follower of Jesus and lived in a way that was basically what he just taught in this story. And you know what? She can only come to that point by spending time with Jesus and learning from him.
Wow, Mary and Martha have quite the story.
Yeah, and we can learn a lot from it.
Like what?
Well, first off, we see through this story that Jesus wants both guys and girls to learn from him. You know, as we said earlier, people really thought that women like Mary and Martha shouldn't be students, that they should be at home taking care of the kids, cleaning, worrying about the kitchen and making the food, not being disciples or ministers or even leaders. Yet, that's not what Jesus thought. Instead, he encouraged them as he did Mary and Martha, and he wanted women as well as men to spend time with him and to go out and tell others about him.
Yeah. So right there, we have a story showing that anyone can be a follower of Jesus. That reminds me of a Bible verse.
is a good verse to help us to really realize how valuable it is to spend time with God, just as Mary spent time and just as Martha discovered in our story today. And then when anything, I mean anything, gets in the way of us following Jesus and spending time with him and interfering with the way he's called us to live, that's just not good. I mean, I don't think that Martha's experience of misplaced focus is unique to just her. I think we all have those moments and things that get in the way of us spending or making time to spend with Jesus. You know, think about it. Maybe you got a new video game and you're just playing it way more than it's really good and it's keeping you from taking any time to spend with Jesus. Or it could be that you're just so busy between soccer and dance and piano lessons and school that you're too tired to spend time reading the Bible or praying at night. Or maybe you just think spending time with Jesus is boring, or you don't know how to do it, so you just don't. But I can tell you, just as Mary knew in that story and Martha found out, spending time with Jesus is the most amazing thing you can experience.
For sure. I mean, he's the creator of the universe, and we can talk to him anytime. We don't have to stand in line. We can talk to him any time of the year, any time of the day. You know, when we make time to be with Jesus, we're doing one of the most important things that we could ever do.
Exactly. And that's also our main point today. Make time to be with Jesus. So let's say our main point together. Make time to be with Jesus. In fact, I think this is a great moment to spend some time with Jesus. We're going to have some worship music on the screen, and there's going to be some Bible verses that are words that Jesus spoke in the Bible. Read through them and just let Jesus speak to you. Close your eyes and just talk to Jesus and listen to Jesus while this music's playing. It's not very long, but I think you'll find that it's a great opportunity to spend time with Jesus. And we'll meet back here after it's done.
This story about Mary, Martha, and Jesus revealed a very important truth. Spending time together is so crucial for any relationship, but especially for our relationship with Jesus, our Lord and Savior. He's the source of love that no other source can even compare to or match.
Our home challenge is simple. Look ahead at your daily schedule or routine and adjust it to make time to spend with Jesus. It can be a few minutes here and there, but the key is doing it and giving him all your focus and attention during those moments. And then just do it. I think you'll find that spending time with Jesus will benefit you a lot. Your relationship with Jesus is really important, and by spending time with him, it benefits that relationship as well as all the other relationships you have as well.
You were right. That story really did fit in well with my busyness. It's really good reminder to make sure that when we're busy, we take time away to spend time with Jesus.
I'm glad to hear that it helped you. It was also good for me, and I'm sure it was good for our friends as well. And I want to thank you, Ruth, for joining us today and helping us tell this story.
My pleasure. I suppose I should get back to my list. You don't want to come over and help, do you? Just kidding. Bye. Bye, everyone!
I want to thank all of you for joining us today and invite you to check out the next episode. In the meantime, be sure to make time to be with Jesus.